The system is fucked up. It's just designed totally. And not only designed, but there's a dedication to keeping us at the bottom of this country.
Everything starts from money. We want to cure diabetes, you need money. You want to affect the wealth gap, you need money. You want to do education, you need anything. You need money. That's it. Everybody leave. If you don't have no money, you're just going to sit here and be a broke nigga with no money talking about the same shit they was talking about 100 years ago. And I'm not doing that.
Said I hop on the track with some confidence. I be talking my shit like the politics. They like Mooney, you gotta keep dropping shit. But don't worry, I'm knowing what time it is. Ain't no worries, my shooters be flocking shit. Staying humble, no need to be popping shit. I'm addicted, got fetish for guapping shit. I'm addicted, got fetish for guapping shit.
Peace. My name is Dante S. Mitchell, better known as Mfalme, Don X Sikivu, and I'm the leader and founder of UFD, the Ujamaa Fraternal Dynasty, aka Obima, the official Black Elite Ambitious Money-Making Association, aka the Money Gang. You guys just heard Ice Cube and Puff Daddy. Ice Cube saying is that the system is rigged against Black people. In a nutshell, he's saying it's designed for us to fail, right? Puff Daddy is saying, well, you can't resolve any of these issues without money. Let's address what Ice Cube was saying first. Ice Cube is a multimillionaire. He's a multimillionaire Black man. And he's making this statement. He had made this video from what I know back in 2020 when the presidential election was going on. And from what I gleaned from doing the research or the backstory to that video, he was basically seeking to challenge the Democratic Party and the Republican Party to start heeding the needs and interests of Black people. Obviously, despite the fact that he's a very prominent figure in our community, he is a multimillionaire, very successful Black man. And he put out that call, he put out that statement, he put out that very passionate video, which was longer than what I've shown you, and nothing's gotten done. Then on the other hand, you got Puff Daddy saying that nothing could be done without money. See, what Ice Cube is saying is right. But what Puff Daddy is saying is even more right. We have people out there who believe that money is not going to solve the issues. But that's not the case. But it's also not the case that money is the only solution, right? See, there is this conundrum or this paradox, so to speak, that people can't fully wrap their minds around because either you're on one side of the spectrum or you're on the other, right? But there are gray areas. When I have these discussions or when I give these presentations, I always preface them with saying, America is built on a foundation of white supremacy. It is a capitalist, an advanced capitalist society. It is an advanced capitalist society built on a foundation of white supremacy. In order for us to really be able to come up with a strategy, a plan of action to reverse the effects of racism and the impact of white supremacy, we first have to start from that premise. We have to understand that in today's time, America's very foundation is based upon and rooted in white supremacy, and that its economic institution, its economic system is a capitalist system, and we need to understand what capitalism is. Now, some people will say capitalism is great. And in very different ways it is, because it does, spur personal initiative. I mean, like you can, as an individual, like as can be attested to Puff Daddy and Ice Cube, you can become pretty successful, pretty well off in America if you take personal initiative. And I can tell you, based upon some of my own experiences after coming home from doing almost 25 years in prison, into the community to try to help people. I have seen what helping people does to them. It makes them dependent, and not only dependent, but it makes them damn right conniving and underhanded. I mean, there's no shortage of people trying to con me out of my money. There's no shortage of individuals who believe that they're entitled to what it is that I've earned, right? Now, this is me. I'm nowhere near as successful financially as Ice Cube or Puff Daddy, but I'm doing okay for myself, right? For myself. Where I go wrong or where I struggle is not having enough funding to do the work that I'm doing in the community with the young people I do it with. I help a lot of young people try to live out their goals and dreams, and I often come out of pocket and I see this. It is a very disgusting attitude that is created in the minds of these young people and even older people when I do things to help them, that they now somehow feel they're entitled to whatever it is I have, that I am obligated to help them regardless of what, that they don't have no real need to earn what it is that they desire. Like they were like, oh, they called me, the nickname they called me is M. My name is Mfalme. They call me M. M got us. M's gonna take care of that. And now I found myself after certain experiences with people last year and earlier this year with this egotistical, arrogant, dependent, you're supposed to do this for us because you're this, that, and the third, as opposed to like, damn, this man is helping us out the kindness of his heart, coming out his pocket to help us with these things. He don't have to do any of these things. So for whatever effort he does make on our behalf, we're just going to be thankful and not expect for him to do any more. Nah, you supposed to do more. You got to do more. And if I don't, I'm the bad guy. I mean, I've gotten people who've told me that I was trying to exploit them or that they were my meal ticket, or that, it was just some of the statements that some of these individuals have made that I was helping, that I was looking out for, and how people, the sycophants, the phallus riders, the individuals who jump on the bandwagon, who believe the nonsense, right? Some of the things that they were saying and some of the things that were being posted on social media about me were like, damn, it kept making me question whether or not what I was doing was right. What I was doing was even worth it. Because if I can give the person the shirt off my back and you can turn on me because you're mad or you have an ego problem or you feel like you want to change circumstances, even if you're in a written contract, you want to break that because you're mad or whatever the case may be. It's like, it made me really start to question myself. Am I morally obligated to continue doing his work? 50 Cent said it himself in one of his interviews where he was like, am I supposed to feel bad for somebody who wants to see me hurt? Am I supposed to love these people? And I'm always constantly faced with those challenges. Even just recently, a young person asked me for some money to get something to eat. I gave it to them. And they turned right around and bought drugs with it. Then I found out, I'm like, not only am I assisting you in other areas, but I'm feeding you because no one else is. And you took the money I gave you to go and buy drugs. See, it's under those circumstances that I kind of feel capitalism, because if you understand capitalism, it's like it's a dog eat dog society. You get it, you don't. If you don't make it, then it's on you, right? So in that situation, I could have told the kid, go out there and get it on your own, right? But the empathetic side of me is like, nah, I'm gonna help you out. And he turned around and utilized my kindness for an advantage that wasn't even a priority. Money that I earned putting in work. he used to get high. So it's under those circumstances that what Puff Daddy is saying, the underlining message in what he's saying is right. Without money, you can't do much of nothing, right? But the flip side is it's also what motivates people to lie, steal, and cheat. So how do we correct the fact that the system is built, designed to hold black people back when black people ourselves will do things to those who are trying to help us that is underhanded? How do you address that? Money can't seem to solve that unless you're just going to feed everybody and give them everything that they want because you got it. There comes a point in time where you have to kind of let people learn on their own. We live in a vibrant, capitalist, advanced society built off of a basis of white supremacy. There is injustice in this world. There's social injustice in this world. There's economic injustice. The way the system is designed to perpetuate black inferiority. It's designed to perpetuate black dependency. Now, I can make the argument that the reason why that kid did what he did is because the system has created a culture within a subculture within our communities where these kids learn not to rely on their own abilities to eat and to take care of themselves, but has instead created a mindset where they become like crabs in a barrel, that they will lie, steal, and cheat to get to what they want. Because this system hasn't really encouraged black excellence. So there are so many different nuances in this argument, this issue, right? And I stand personally at the pinnacle of that because I'm trying to balance between what I know is morally right, which is to fight the good fight, that there are black people who came before me that were responsible for creating a condition to allow for me and other black people to become like Ice Cube and Puff Daddy. See, Ice Cube and Puff Daddy would not be where they're at today if it was not for black people who are willing to selflessly take a stand against a system that was crushing black people. Many of the black people who fought, bled, and died for the rights and privileges that we benefit from today have not benefited from those things. They haven't seen what we see today. And black people today take these things for granted. In fact, there are many black people who don't give a damn that somebody have fought, bled, and died for the rights and privileges that they have today. And will tell you, whatever happened then happened then. This is today. And today matters more than anything else. And in that, as an individual, how can you argue against that? They're doing okay. They're living their life. Whatever life those people were living back then, it doesn't matter. There's a disconnect. How do you make an argument against that? See, look, what Ice Cube is saying is right. The system is designed to fail. But we perpetuate it as a people. Even those like Ice Cube and Puff Daddy who recognize the issue haven't really stepped up the way they need to step up or the way they should step up. And now some of you are going to say, well, who are you to say that they haven't or they should? Because again, if you start from the premise that this is an advanced capitalist society built off of a basis of white supremacy, you know what the solution is to addressing it because everything else that other people have done hasn't really worked. Why? And I'm talking about people who have earnestly put in these efforts to try different strategies and tactics that constantly keep being done and done over and over again, and people expect a different result. The marching, the protesting, the sitting down with the Democrats or the Republican Party, trying to negotiate with them for, represent our interests, etc. But then the next Freddie Gray happens, right? Or the next Michael Brown happens, or whatever the case may be, that there's going to be another sensational event where black people or a black person is the victim of police brutality or some type of, and we're going to keep seeing these things. And 5 years from now, right? This is where what Puff Daddy's saying also matters, but his statement doesn't go far enough, but he's right. But 5 years from now, we're going to be at the same point. Some other black celebrity or prominent black person is going to be talking about the same thing, that this system is designed for us to fail and nothing's being done, blah, blah, blah. And there's many people in my own community here in Albany, New York, Troy, New York, Schenectady, New York, that say the same thing. Respectfully, you all are rhetoricians. You all just talking, honestly, because you're really not willing to do what it takes to change that dynamic. Because what it takes is giving a kid $8, a 17-year-old kid from the hood, $8 off the hope that he will do what he said he would do with the money, know that, then find out that he didn't do with the money and still want to help him. See, because there is a pervasive disease that exists within our communities that make many of us dependent, make many of us conniving, make many of us, downright dangerous to ourselves. And we've got to still be in the fray. How do you correct? Because there is a disease that exists within the Black community that's preventing us from even uniting to even address the issue with what the system is doing. The system perpetuates the disease. See, how do you address that? How do you fix that? What are you going to do? We're caught in a vicious cycle that no one knows how to get out. But there is a solution. Our ancestors showed it. Did we get civil rights, human rights, because someone decided that they were going to fight the good fight, but once it became too difficult or they saw that Black people were turning on them, they ran and hightailed it? No. They endured persecution, not only from the system, but from their own people. Many of our Black leaders were betrayed by other Black people. That has discouraged a lot of people from even getting involved in the cause. Like, it'd be our own people who did it to us. But it's the system that created the mentality. Anyone who ever heard of the Willie Lynch syndrome should know that. And it started from slavery. Now, the Willie Lynch thing is a myth. It's a myth. There was no such person as Willie Lynch. But there is such a thing as the Willie Lynch syndrome, or what the Willie Lynch syndrome describes or gives definition to is true. There was this breaking of the slave to make the slave not only dependent on the slave master, because we see this today, that Black people tend to believe in the credibility of white people over other Black people. That we tend to go to white businesses, into white lenders, into all these white people, because we trust that white people are going to give us the service that white people say they're going to give us. But all the while, the system that was built to benefit white people is us over. But see, so the Willie Lynch syndrome is a true thing. It's the breaking of the slave, not only to make him dependent on the white man, but for him to distrust the Black man. So there are Black people today who are still exhibiting the same slave mentality that was indoctrinated into our people by the white man. This is historic fact. You can't change that. So if you know that to be the truth, that means you have a moral obligation, if you're fighting for truth and justice, to deal with the disease and to figure out the best way to help your people who are diseased and who might attack you, who might hurt you, to deal with them and try to get them to change their ways and to acknowledge the fact that they're sick. Anytime you give up on that, it's showing that you don't really give a damn about your own people. You don't care about changing the system. So yes, Puff Daddy, it takes money. But how much of your money are you willing to spend to change that dynamic? Yes, Ice Cube, you're right. The system is designed to keep Black people down, but you're doing well. How much of your money, how much of your time are you willing to sacrifice to change that dynamic? Now, I don't know what any of these men are individually doing on a daily basis, but what I do know is that the method, there is only one method. This is not something because I've presented it before, and there are other social justice leaders who I've been in contact who would say, oh, there's many different solutions, and you do your solution, I do mine, and we're all working together towards the same result. That does not work. That doesn't work. You can't say that we're all traveling to California, but you're going this route, he's going this route, I'm going that route, that person's going that route. The only solutions, we want to take the shortest route. Out of all of those 7 routes, one of the routes is the shortest and the easiest and the most safest way to get there. But you rather go the scenic route because you want to see all the mountains, you want to see the animal. This person rather go this because I prefer it that way. But no one is not trying to get to the destination in the most effective and efficient way possible. There is always one best way to do something. And if we're not going to wrangle with each other and sit down at the table to have an honest discussion about the best way to do something, then we a bunch of fools. Because you're trying to protect your agenda. You're trying to protect your ego on what you believe is the best route to get to the same destination. No, we need to get to that destination. And unfortunately, many of the routes that many of you black leaders that are out there now taking, it's taking too damn long. And it's based off your personal preference, not what's in the best interest of our people. You're not putting the people first. You're putting your own personal opinion, your own personal agenda, your own personal interest before that of the people. So therefore, you're not willing to sacrifice your agenda, your idea, your this, that, and the third in order to get to the best route that's going to help us as a people, one, overcome the disease of self-hate, the disease of disunity. Before we can even get to the other thing, we got to address those. So how do we now make the system more equitable? See, I don't have a solution, but I'm here to tell you, I do. Now, I know people are like, who is you? Well, I ain't never heard of you. No, you don't even really have a platform like that. Who is you? And you're right. But guess what? Before Malcolm became Malcolm, Malcolm was somebody you didn't know. He was a 2-bit hustler named Detroit Red, shooting heroin, getting high, robbing and stealing. Before Martin Luther King became Martin Luther King, he was just a small preacher who somehow, became the center of a movement. Before any of our leaders became anyone, they was nobody. They became somebody because they were willing to step up and say, I have a solution. And they were able to convince other people. Marcus Garvey is a good example of that. He wasn't a good looking man. He was a very short, pudgy black man from Jamaica with an accent, came over to America. Nobody believed this guy. Came over to America in 1914 with this idea to create this race organization. He wanted to create this race organization, help black people throughout the Pan-African diaspora, to unite. And he came to America to give this message to black people in America, and they rejected him. 1914, he went around, preaching his little thing, and nobody gave a crap. But get out of here. So he decided that he was going to go around the country and listen. He started connecting with the people, understanding how the people really felt about their situation, and he tailored his message to that. And because he tailored his message to that, he created one of the most profound and significant black nationalist movements ever. It has not, to this day, been topped by any black leader, any black movement. No black organization has had this success that the Universal Negro Improvement Association, which was founded and created by Marcus Mosiah Garvey. No one has created a more prominent movement. Nobody. Nobody. Now, there have been organizations that have lasted longer, but have never gotten to the pinnacle. And the Nation of Islam is the organization I'm speaking about. The Nation of Islam has existed for a very long time. So they have an enduring quality about them that can't be denied. But Marcus Mosiah Garvey and the Universal Negro Improvement Association had tapped into the actual solution to really unifying black people and getting them to unify to such a degree that he had chapters of his organization throughout the world. And I'm talking about in the early 1900s. They didn't have internet. They didn't have social media. They didn't have Facebook, Instagram, none of that. And this man was able to amass a significant following. There are reports that there was more than 1 million black people throughout the world that were a part of his organization. You show me one organization where 1 million black people are united today. You're not going to find that. And he did that during a time where he didn't have the information and communication technology that we have at our disposal today. And we can't even top what he's doing. Why? Because everyone has been, you know, it's almost like, it's like this new culture where everybody's a winner. Even the losers get a trophy. Nah, them days is over, man. I'm here to announce UFD is here. I'm going to be telling you guys in a series of videos how UFD is the solution. Not because it is the only solution, but because we dare to implement those practices that have proven to work. This organization, UFD, the Ujima Fraternal Dynasty, aka Obima, is not my brainchild. I founded the organization based upon the information that I was able to research and what was effective. I took from what Marcus Garvey did effective, from what the Nation of Islam did effective, from what the Black Panther Party did effective. All of these men and women who did things that were effective, I'm just going to emulate them into one organization that I call UFD. I'm not sitting here saying I'm the one who discovered these principles. Even the philosophy, the conscious money philosophy, which I've developed as the ideological foundation of UFD, is inspired based upon the ideologies and information that I've gleaned from other people who are more learned than I. For instance, Amos Wilson, who wrote the book, The Blueprint for Black Power. A lot of what it is that I've incorporated within UFD and our philosophy and the structure of our organization came from him. I didn't create that. I'm not that bright, but I'm bright enough to recognize the truth. I'm bright enough to recognize that what that man was saying and how he backed up what he was saying with data. He wasn't just talking. It wasn't just rhetoric. He backed up what he was saying with data. He speaks about things that he researched, that he went into different books, that he went into different studies. He got the facts and he said, these are the conclusions that I've come up with based upon this research. I couldn't have done that. I don't have the patience to sit and read and do that deep of research, but I had the patience to read his book and to acknowledge from his insight and from the research he's done and cross-reference some of the information with other information I read. That was just the extent that I could do of any extent. This man was a scholar. He was a professor. He was one of those people that we would count as being a genius. And maybe I can call myself a genius. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a genius like that though. I'm not a research genius. If I'm a genius at all, it's a genius in recognizing the truth when other people present it to me. If you tell me something like, that works, I'm gonna try it. Maybe that's the only genius thing about me, is that if you show me something that works, that could put money in my pocket or help me in whatever goal I have, I'm jacking it. I don't care if it's going to cause for me to have to switch up the way I've been doing things. My ego, my pride, is not bigger than the truth. It's not bigger than the method that works. So I'm willing to adjust. I'm willing to make adjustments in the way I see things based upon the truth that was presented to me from the data that was given. That's the only way I can consider myself a genius. Other than that, who am I? But I recognized that what Marcus Mosiah Garvey did, what Amos Wilson had found out, what Dr. Chancellor Williams had found out in his book, The Destruction of Black Civilization, and the things he spoke about in that book, or George Fraser, when he spoke in his book, Success Runs in Our Race. I've taken information from there, and I've taken information from Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, and Jack Canfield, who wrote the book, The Success Principles. These are all white men, by the way. And I started looking like, yo, this worked, that worked, this worked. And this is what I came up with: conscious money, the conscious money philosophy, UFD, the Ujima Fraternal Dynasty. Even the AKA of UFD, Obima, came from a 17-year-old kid that was incarcerated with me. And I didn't even like it. He was like, yo, I'm telling you, man, you should come up with this, the AKA for UFD should be Obima. I'm like, I ain't jacking that. Nah. So they see the elder in me at that time, I'm like, I wanted to move away from anything that seemed like it was gang related. So all the gangs had AKAs, your hood to have an AKA this and an AKA that. So I was like, nah, I ain't jacking that. But When I asked what I did was, being the forward-thinking person I was, I asked some of the younger members of the organization that was with me at that time, which I think if we made UFD's AKO beam, y'all jacking that? They was like, yo, that's fire. That's. I said, all right. There was a lot of things that I didn't like that I ran with because I did the research. I talked to people. I did the marketing research. I had to speak, and I didn't like, but the results from the data told me that I had to change the way that I viewed this thing. So I changed the way I viewed it. See, a lot of you leaders out there, a lot of you social justice advocates out there right now, a lot of you race leaders and all you people out there, y'all won't do that because you're too invested in your vision. You're too invested in your idea that you won't even do the knowledge. You won't even look at the data, and the data is telling you you're dead wrong. The data is telling you that the way you're approaching the matter is dead wrong, but you're going to keep going with it anyway. Why? Because you feel like you got the solution. So our people are still dragging along because we have a bunch of leaders that won't look at the data. UFD is based upon the data. And this is some of the things that I've learned. One, in order to create unity, you in a capitalist America, you have to first be able to help the people meet their needs. In Abraham Maslow's pyramid of human needs, at the very foundation is food, clothing, and shelter. See, you want people to go out there and protest and march and create a sustained political movement to get public policies changed to help make things better for them before they even have the resources to even feed themselves. I see mothers, single mothers in the community busting their ass every day, working 2 or 3 jobs just to put food on the table and to make sure that their kids have good clothing to go to school in. And you will tell them that they should be out there marching and protesting so that they can get better services or better public policies. For all they care about is I got a job, 2 of them. I'm making enough money to put food on my table. And after that, I'm too tired to worry about marching and protesting because they killed somebody in some other city. If you want to get black people to care about black issues, you have to figure out a way to help that black mother earn more money so she don't have to work as much, so that she will have the time to listen to you and say, now I can go down there and march with you because as a black person, as a black woman or a black man, I see how that can happen to my son. I can see how that can happen to my daughter. So therefore I would go with you. But if you can't even address that one basic thing, how is she going to be able to feed her kids? How is she going to clothe her kids and keep a roof over their head because you want her to go and march because they killed somebody else in some other city? You are doing a disservice to your people. You don't even have a solution to be able to help her with those things, but you feel like she should understand the need for unity. They don't give a damn because the only thing that really matters to them is being able to feed their kids, pay their bills, to make sure that they can pay their car insurance. You can't even come up with a solution to help them with that, but you feel like you got a solution. Well, everybody's doing what they can. No, you're not. You're not meeting the needs of the people. That is the first thing data tells you you have to do. Any successful movement. That was the reason why Marcus Garvey was so successful. That's the reason why the Nation of Islam had been so enduring, because the philosophies that they taught helped black people be able to put more money in their pocket. That's the truth. Do the research. Stop running your mouth and look at the best ways that you can help people earn more money. UFD is here to figure out the best way to help you as a black man and woman in America, a brown woman or man in America make more money so you can feed your. Our first priority. How can we help you earn more money? How can we help you achieve financial success and prosperity? Because after we help you achieve financial success and prosperity, you are now in a better position to help in the social cause, in the political cause that UFD also stands for. But we know that we're not going to put the cart before the horse. We got to first be able to meet the needs of our members. If you join UFD, you are joining an organization whose first priority is going to try to help you make more money. Going to help your kids make more money. That's why I'm out here busting my ass trying to help young people live out their dreams. Because if I can help them make a little money rapping and singing and doing the things that they love to do, then they'll now be in a better position to help us when they get older. See, I'm smart. I'm looking to the future. That's the reason why I focus on the youth, because they are easily able to be able to take their dreams and make them come into fruition, because they're not sullied with all the bills and all the burdens of adulthood. And by helping them achieve a goal to live out their dream or to develop a skill that's going to help put more money in their pocket, is going to help them when they get in their 20s, their early 20s and their mid 20s and their late 20s. Now they're in the position, I got a good job, or I'm running a business, or I'm out here rapping and I'm making music, doing shows, etc. And I'm a part of this fraternity, this UFD organization. Now I can put a little bit more back, because you know what? I got a little financial breathing room. I'm gonna let the brother Mfalme, because he's good at this. I'm gonna help him out with whatever little resources, because he helped me. And I know he's gonna take whatever resources I help him with, because he helped me get into a position of financial success and prosperity. So I don't mind giving him a little bit more, because I know he's gonna do that for someone else. And then now I got an army, a movement of financially successful black people. Now we can get some things done. Isn't that what the Jews have done? It's because they have financial success and prosperity, and they're the smallest minority in America from what I know. They have the smallest population of minority people, but they have a very significant political impact. Why? Is it because they're always out there marching and protesting? No, because they got the bag. They got the bag. We don't got the bag. That's the goal. So if I got a movement of black people who got the bag, who call each other Ndugu, which is a Swahili word that means brother and sister, then I'm telling you, I can make changes then. If I got a movement of those type of people behind me, I'm trying to create them. I'm trying to create a movement of successful black and brown people in America who all call each other Ndugu, which means brother, sister, or comrade or relative, because we look at each other being a part of UFD as a family. If I can help you get to a point where your bag is right, your pockets are right, you don't have to worry about where your next paycheck is coming. I know now, if I got a movement, if I got a whole movement of people behind me that I've helped through teaching them the conscious money philosophy, how to get to the bag, and then provided them with the financial or the capital to do it, because I was able to pull resources together from other members of the organization and we just helped each other. We helped each other get to the bag. I now can go to you and say, brother, we got to go and march on Washington. It's not going to be a stretch for you to do it then, because you got the financial breathing room. You don't have to work 2 or 3 jobs now. You're making money. You can take a few days off to go and march with your Ndugu on Washington to now protest against what's happening in different cities and how black people are being disrespected. Now, Ice Cube, that's how you change the narrative. Start helping your people get to the bag like you. Start investing in movements like UFD. Help me. I got the solution, because my only solution is I'm going to try to help every black person that become a part of my organization get to the bag. That's what you got to do. That's why Puff Daddy is correct. Without money, you can't do nothing. But without money coming from a conglomeration of black people, you can't do nothing, because you guys are rich and you guys can't even do nothing because you don't even have unity. But yes, give me 10,000 black people that I help achieve financial success and prosperity, and see how much movement, see how much change we can make just with 10,000. 10,000 black people calling each other Ndugu who are financially successful, who are all part of the same fraternal organization that got chapters all throughout the country, all promoting financial success, financial prosperity, who are all promoting black entrepreneurship, who are all promoting black investment. I help you, you help me. What can I do to help your business grow? Right at this moment, I'm taking the time out to offer my services. I'm good at marketing. I can put together like a good marketing campaign. I'm helping the lady that has an event space right in front of my office from where I'm doing this presentation. And I'm helping her, I'm going to help her put together a good marketing campaign to bring in some customers. And I'm doing that for free, because I want her to get to the bag. And in return, she has connections and people that she can connect me to help me expand the program that I'm building here. See, That is the only way forward. If you're not going to provide black people with the opportunity to be able to get to the bag and to increase their financial success and prosperity, there's no way in hell we as a people are going to unify to change anything in this country. It has to start with showing black people how to get to the bag and creating brotherhood with them on that basis. That's UFD. I'm asking, if you heard something that I said today, go to our website, www.ufdeez.org. Fill out that membership application. If you can afford it, pay the $50 membership dues, because the money is going to go right back to helping you. I just need 10,000, just 10,000. And that's a bare minimum. That's a fraction of the population that we have in this country that is willing to just contribute a $50 a month membership fee, right? And I can get you better insurance for your car, for your health insurance. I can help you get a home. I can help you pay off college loans, credit card debt, start and expand business. I can help you do those things if I can get enough black people to invest their time and money into an organization that's going to take whatever money we're able to pool together. Because Ice Cube said that we need to pool our resources. He said that in his video. But we have to make it a reality. Because if we pool our resources from the small contributions, I can help you do better. There will come a point where there will be no need for you to even pay a membership due, because we will be bringing in so much money from the investments that we made from our collective pool of resources that now we just making residual income as a movement. Where now, instead of you paying $50 a month in membership dues, you're getting dividend checks. You're giving dividend checks from the investments you made. But in this beginning stages, we as a movement have to finance it. We have to make the investment. It's like we're starting any business or any new industry. You got to make the investment until you start pulling in a profit. We can do it. I know we can do it. I just need the right help. I just need brothers and sisters in the community who see the vision and say, you know what? I'm joining that. I'm going to work with the brother. And let's get this thing popping. See, I've been kind of dilly-daddly and I haven't really come out and really explain this thing. I'm willing to answer whatever questions. I'm public. Like, you can go and see me on my I'm here. There's nothing hidden about nothing I'm doing. You know, the majority of my money, if anybody wants to check it out, goes to helping these kids, man. I spend at least 70% of my time and my money helping these kids. This space right here, money come out my pocket to help rent this for these kids. I bring them here to use the little studio equipment that I bought for them. Got the little game and stuff. All this stuff here is really for them. All I want is to be able to give this message. So I got a little studio. I want to do some interviews with people who are like-minded and just kind of talk and have this discussion on how can we start to build this organization. This is the solution. I'm telling you it's the solution. Not because we're anybody special. It's because we dare to implement what we know has worked from the research and data that we can all look at. Now, if another organization came about and called themselves the Frogs and did the same thing, then I would tell you that organization is also the solution. But if you're not implementing a solution that's based upon the data, that's based upon the historical facts, that's based upon the research that have been done by men that are greater than us in terms of their intellectual capacities, and we're not putting together programs based upon that, then we are not doing our people a service. So with that, I'm going to say peace, and I hope to hear from you. Thank you.
Said I hop on the track with some confidence. I be talking my shit like the politics. They like Mooney, you gotta keep dropping shit. But don't worry, I'm knowing what time it is. Ain't no worries, my shooters be flocking shit. Staying humble, no need to be popping shit. I'm addicted, got fetish for guapping shit. I'm addicted, got fetish for guapping shit.